Hey, you feeling okay today? Ready to dive into this video with me from start to finish? We all think a marriage proposal should be pure joy. But what happens when your loved one's best friend begs you to hold off? Stay until the end. This in just a love story. It's a wake-up call about the red flags we ignore when we're head over heels. Hey, listener, you're about to dive into a story where love gets tangled in doubt and loyalty is tested in ways you don't see coming. I'm Ethan, 29, a software engineer in Portland, Oregon, where I've built a life with Claire, 28, an interior designer with a laugh that lights up rooms. We've been together 3 years, and I'm ready to propose. Ring picked, plan set. But a single conversation at a party flipped my world, making me question the woman I love and the future I thought was certain. Let's start at the moment my big news hit a wall. Claire and I met at a coffee shop, bonding over spilled lattes and bad puns. She's creative, warm, always rearranging our apartment with quirky pillows or vintage lamps. I'm the steady one, coding apps by day, happy to come home to her chaos. 3 years in, we've weathered fights, moves, and job stress, and I've never been surer of anyone. I bought a ring last month, a simple emerald, her favorite 10, planned to propose at a coastal lookout we love. I was giddy, imagining her saying yes, our life unfolding. All I needed was the perfect moment to pop the question. Last weekend, Claire's friend group threw a low-key party at a loft downtown. String lights, craft beer, indie music. Her crew's tight-knit, artsy types who've welcomed me despite my tech bro vibe. I was buzzing, the ring metaphorically burning a hole in my pocket, and decided to share my plan with Jaden, Claire's best friend since college. Jaden's 30, gay, a photographer with a sharp wit and a protective streak for Claire. We get along, teases my binary brain. I laugh at his avant-garde photo shoots. If anyone be thrilled about my proposal, I figured it'd be him. At the party, I found Jaden by the snack table, refilling chips. Claire was across the room, laughing with friends, her curls catching the light. I leaned in, keeping my voice low. Hey, man, I'm gonna propose to Claire soon. Got the ring and everything. I grinned, expecting a fist bump or a hell yeah. But Jaden's face froze, his hand pausing mid-chip. He looked at me, then away, and muttered, good luck, dude. His tone was flat, like I'd told him I was switching phone plans. My stomach twisted. Was he joking? I nudged him. Come on, that's it? No hype for your girl's big moment. Jaden sighed, setting the chip bag down. He glanced at Claire, then back at me, his eyes uneasy. Look, Ethan, I'm happy for you. But he trailed off, rubbing his neck. I pressed, my voice sharper than I meant. But what? You don't like me for her? Spit it out. I'd always sensed Jaden was protective, maybe skeptical of me as the tech guy, but this felt different. He took a breath, his voice low. I like you, man. You're solid, but I'm not sure Claire's the right one for you to marry. The words hit like a sucker punch. I stared, my buzz from the party gone. What do you mean? I asked, my throat tight. Jaden shifted, clearly uncomfortable. It's not my place, but there's stuff you don't know. Claire's great, but she's got a side she doesn't show you. I just think twice. Okay. He wouldn't meet my eyes, his words vague, but heavy. I pushed back, my voice rising. Stuff like what? If you know something, tell me. My mind raced. Was she cheating? Lying? Jaden shook his head. I can't. It's her story. Just be careful. He walked away, leaving me by the snack table, my heart pounding. I rejoined Claire, forcing a smile as she pulled me to dance, but Jaden's words clung like damp clothes. What didn't I know? Claire seemed the same, whirling, teasing me about my left feet. But now I scanned her every move, searching for a hint of this side Jaden meant. Was he jealous, stirring drama? Or was he warning me about something real? I never doubted Claire was open, loving, mine. But Jaden wasn't a gossip. He'd known her for a decade. If he thought she wasn't right for marriage, what did that mean for us? That night, lying beside her, I couldn't sleep. The ring, hidden in my sock drawer, felt like a question mark. I wanted to confront Claire, demand answers, but Jaden's vagueness gave me nothing solid to grip. Was I paranoid? Or was my future with her built on sand? All I knew was that my plan to propose, once so clear, now felt like stepping into a fog. Listener, Ethan's dream just hit a roadblock, and Jaden's warning is only the start. Is Claire hiding something? Or is this a misunderstanding that could ruin everything? Stay with Metha's stories about to unravel secrets that change the game. Ethan's plan to propose to Claire, his girlfriend of 3 years, was unraveling fast. At 29, a software engineer in Portland, he'd thought their love was rock-solid. Jaden, Claire's best friend, dropped a bombshell at a party. I'm not sure Claire's the right one for you to marry. Jaden's vague warning left Ethan reeling, his emerald ring hidden in a drawer, now a symbol of doubt. Desperate for answers, Ethan couldn't let it go. Jaden's words hinted at a side of Claire, 28, that Ethan didn't know, and the uncertainty was eating him alive. He needed the truth, even if it hurt. A few days after the party, Ethan texted Jaden, asking to meet at a quiet cafe near his office. Jaden agreed, though his reluctance was clear, shifting in his seat, sipping his latte like it was a shield. Ethan cut to the chase. You said Claire's not right for me. What's going on? If there's something I need to know, tell me. Jaden sighed, his eyes flicking to the window. I didn't want to do this, Ethan. Claire's my friend. But since you're serious about marrying her, yeah, there's stuff you should know. Jaden leaned in, voice low. Claire's amazing, creative, loyal in her way. But she doesn't always love for the right reasons. She craves stability, hates being alone. Relationships are like her emotional life raft. Ethan frowned, processing. What do you mean? Jaden hesitated, then continued. She's never been single for long, not since high school. When one relationship ends, she jumps to the next, like she's scared to face herself. I've seen either excitement fades once the new wears off, unless someone's giving her constant security. Ethan's stomach twisted. Claire had always seemed independent, with her interior design gigs and packed social calendar. But Jaden's words stirred memories early in their relationship. Claire had been warm but guarded, slow to open up about her past. He chalked it up to shyness, but now he wondered. Jaden went on. There was only one guy she was truly crazy about, years ago. You could see either face lit up when he texted. She'd ramble about him for hours. With others, including you, it's different. She cares, but it's not that spark. She talks about her exes a lot, right? Like, weirdly specific details. Ethan nodded, a chill settling in. Claire did mention exes often, how one loved jazz, how another cooked terrible pasta. He thought it was just her being open, but the frequency, the detail, felt off now. She's not cheating, Jaden clarified, but she holds onto those memories like they're part of her identity. It's not healthy. Ethan swallowed, his coffee untouched. So, what? She's using me. Just settling. Jaden shook his head. Not exactly. She loves you, I think, but I'm worrying she's with you because you're safe, not because you're her everything. The conversation got heavier. Jaden admitted Claire had leaned on him emotionally in the past, sometimes too much. When she was sad, breakups, bad days, she'd crash at my place, sleep on my couch, ask me to cheer her up instead of her boyfriend. It got intense. I had to set boundaries, tell her to lean on her partner, not me. Ethan's mind flashed to a fleeting suspicion he'd had early on that Claire and Jaden were too close, maybe even romantic. He dismissed it, knowing Jaden was gay, but now it made sense. I thought she might have had a crush on you, Ethan admitted. Jaden laughed dryly. Nah, she just needed someone to fill the gaps her relationships left. I wasn't her Loveri was her crutch. Ethan left the cafe dazed. Jaden's words were playing like a bad loop. He started piecing together their relationship's early days. Claire had been magnetic, but distant, taking months to share deeper feelings. He'd pursued her, charmed by her energy, but she'd never fully let him in. He'd ignored small red flags like her vague answers about exes or her need for constant plans, as if silence scared her. Now, Jaden's warning cast those moments in a new light. Was Claire with him because she loved him, or because he was a steady anchor in her fear of being alone. Back home, watching Claire rearrange their bookshelf, humming softly, Ethan felt a mix of love and dread. She was still the woman he'd planned to marry. Her smile, her quirks, but Jaden's revelations made him question her heart. Did she love him the way he loved her, or was he just the latest in a string of safe choices? The ring in his drawer felt heavier, a decision he couldn't make until he knew the truth. Confronting her was next. But how do you ask someone if their love is real without breaking what's left? Listener, Ethan's standing at a crossroads, torn between his heart and the unsettling truth. Is Jaden right about Claire? Or is this just a friend's overreach? Stay with me. Conversation ahead will change everything, and the stakes are higher than a proposal. Ethan's world was spinning. At 29, a software engineer in Portland, he'd been ready to propose to Claire, his 28-year-old girlfriend of 3 years, until her best friend Jaden warned him, "I'm not sure Claire's the right one for you to marry." Jaden's revelation showed Claire craved stability over true love, leaned on ex's memories, and used relationships as emotional crutches, left Ethan questioning everything. The emerald ring in his drawer, once a symbol of certainty, now felt like a gamble. As he grappled with Jaden's words, Ethan faced a choice: confront Claire and risk their love, or stay silent and wonder if he was about to marry a stranger. Jaden's warning hit Ethan hard, stirring a mix of shock and doubt. Was Jaden overstepping, projecting his own fears onto Claire? Or was he, as her closest friend, trying to protect Ethan from a mistake? The uncertainty gnawed at him. Jaden wasn't a gossip. His hesitation at the cafe showed he'd agonized over sharing this. But his words unlocked memories Ethan had brushed off. Early in their relationship, Claire had been warm but distant, her emotions hard to read. He'd felt like an outsider sometimes, chasing her affection while she kept parts of herself locked away. Even now, she dodged deep talks, filling silences with plans or jokes. Was that independence, or a sign she wasn't fully in? Ethan replayed moments that once seemed small. Claire's stories about excess to detailed, too fond had always bugged him, but he'd let them slide. Her need for constant activity, as if alone time scared her, now echoed Jaden's life raft comment. He remembered a fight last year when she'd shut down, staying at Jaden's for a night without explaining. At the time, he thought it was just her needing space, but now it felt like a pattern, leaning on others when emotions got tough. Jaden's story about setting boundaries with her rang true. Ethan had felt that same emotional distance, like he was her partner, but not her confidant. The idea of confronting Claire terrified him. If he told her what Jaden said, it could fracture her friendship with Jaden, or worse, make her think Ethan was paranoid, accusing her without proof. He had no evidence, just Jaden's observations and his own nagging doubts. Keeping it secret felt safer, but dishonest. How could he propose while carrying this weight? The ring mocked him from its hiding spot, a reminder of the future he'd imagined: kids, a house, growing old with Claire. But Jaden's warning raised a deeper question. Was he being loved the way he deserved, or was he just a safe harbor for Claire's fear of being alone? Ethan spent days agonizing, his code blurring on his laptop as his mind churned. He loved Claire, her laugh, her creativity, the way she'd dance in their kitchen. But love wasn't enough if it lacked depth, if she was with him for stability, not passion. He thought about her past, never single for long, and wondered if he was just the latest in a line of good-enough partners. The thought hurt, but it also clarified something. He needed a marriage built on mutual vulnerability, not one where he chased her heart. If Claire wasn't all in, he couldn't be either. Finally, Ethan made a choice. He wouldn't confront her about Jaden's warning. That was too messy, too likely to backfire. Instead, he talked to her about them, about the distance he'd felt, the walls she kept up. He needed to know if she was truly committed, not just coasting on his reliability. If she wanted a life together, she'd have to meet him halfway up and up, share her fears, be his partner, not just his girlfriend. If she couldn't, he'd have to walk away, ring or no ring. He planned a conversation for the weekend, somewhere neutral, a park bench, maybe, where they could talk without distractions. He'd start with his feelings, not accusations. I've noticed you pull back sometimes, like you're not fully here. I want us to be real with each other, especially before we take a big step. Are you all in, Claire? Do you want this as much as I do? He didn't know how she'd respond, defensive, honest, or somewhere in between, but he owed it to himself to ask. The truth, whatever it was, would decide their future. So, listener, thanks for staying with me. Ethan's ready to face Claire, but will her answers save their love or end it? Would you confront her head on? Or hold back like Ethan? When's the time you had to trust your doubts over your heart? Share below when listening. Stay tuned. This story's about to reveal what love can survive.